Hey everyone, welcome back to the Overwrite SIDEQUEST podcast. I'm Kuaman, and joining me tonight are
Sai,
Caesar,
and Flamelight.
And we just watched the Sony E3 2018 conference.
if you can even call that a conference.
It was
a Twitch
different.
live stream, man.
It was the best one. It was the best one.
It was the
No,
best
it
one.
wasn't. Like,
Qualify that statement. What do you mean best one?
What I mean by best one.
What is your definition of best?
My definition of best is that it had a flute.
Well, that was the second instrument because at first we had like a guitar.
I like
It's
the
a
guitar.
banjo, man.
That's the type of guitar.
Really? Okay, whatever. It had a banjo. I liked it. Last of Us theme, fine. By the original composer of the music, fine. But still, what the fuck happened afterwards?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be. I guess. So there's this thing that's been going on with E3 recently, where developers have been figuring out that they don't need to do everything, like with a big press conference on a stage during E3, as has been kind of the norm for the past 15, 18 years. So I think Sony finally decided that maybe they could try and get more creative and try something different. I don't think it worked necessarily, but it's definitely a different approach to doing their press conference.
I can get behind the doing things differently. Like I understand that mentality, but what I don't get is why do you have to sacrifice the conference for that? Why do you have to sacrifice the
Showmanship?
Yeah, or no, not the showmanship, because that's what they were going for, but the content for that.
But I don't think they sacrificed the content. I think what comes off weird about it. Okay, so we had the Microsoft conference, and it was mostly game trailers, and this conference was also mostly game trailers. But it was just kind of like the introductions to each game trailer were very confusing
And slow.
and yes, like confusing, slow, and I think even after watching the trailer, you really didn't understand what was that they were building up to before watching the trailer. So I think, like, I don't know, I keep going back to the Devolver Digital conference from this year and from last year, which is like super horrendously weird and like it makes fun of things in the industry in general. But I'm not sure if Sony was taking inspiration from that or if they were just trying something new. Like, in my head is like you can do press conferences in a different way. I just don't think Sony managed to pull it off here.
I honestly think Sony has been doing the same formula for 3 or 4 years in a row.
Yeah, like the same big soundstage.
The same stage, the same. Even they looked the same, even though the decorations were different. And I always thought they were amazing. Like I always liked their conference. They were direct. They showed what needed to be shown, but this time it felt like they were trying to like stay away from the audience. It felt like they were behind a camera, not an audience.
But I think that's fine. Like I know not everybody in the table might agree, but I think that's worked out great for Nintendo for like the past 7 years to just
Yeah, but it's different. It's different because Nintendo flat out embraced it. I think Sony was kind of
Trying it out.
yeah, they were kind of pussyfooting, like testing the waters.
My honest opinion, and you guys know this, is that the fact that Nintendo does a pre-recorded presentation, I think it's cheap. Like, I've never liked it. You're just releasing a trailer.
Well, this wasn't but like that's essentially what all the E3 conferences
Yeah,
are.
it's a collection of trailers.
Protracted
I've
E3
been-
It's a collection
trailer.
of trailers.
I've been personally in E3.
We've been in a tree.
Yeah, and they gave us like
Lucky you.
there were two conferences happening at the same time. One's for the people that were actually there with Reggie Fils-Aime and Miyamoto and everyone, and then there was for other people that apparently we were not on their level. That the recording was set to what's it on a theater for us? Like, you're not live, but you're behind. You're still seeing this at the same time it's happening, just in a big theater, like in the Nokia theater. Like, I never knew if this was actually that just pre-recorded, or if it was actually happening somewhere else.
Wait, what do you mean? Like the Nintendo one?
Yeah.
We were there.
No, the other one before that year. Like I went once before.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know, guys.
It felt like they were pushing the audience away, and I think Sony, that's what they did with this.
Okay,
one.
look. Regardless, my opinion, my personal opinion in this Sony conference is that yes, they tried new things. They tried to change up the formula. Look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think Nintendo's formula wasn't working before, and that's why they changed it. I think Sony's formula was working perfectly. I think the memes was that they won E3 last year, and this year, honestly, it's the worst one for me. So far, it's the worst one for me. I think honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, again, it was weird. I think we all agreed it came off a bit like watching some kind of Twitch stream, like the official Sony Twitch stream, and they showed a trailer, and then Sony reacts to their own trailer, which was super bonkers, and I had no idea what was going on there. But the beginning was cool. So,
the beginning was amazing.
Yeah, but I want to talk about that because for me, it's like this was a situation where somebody had a good idea, but the execution was just not quite there. But I think like that initial thing where they're in the cathedral or like the church thingy, and they introduce The Last of Us 2, and it's like they first play the music from the first game, and then like you move into the trailer, and the trailer set up in like the same place where the audience is. I thought that was pretty neat. I thought it kind of really cool. Brought people in, and it like was a good introduction.
That engages the audience.
Yeah, it was definitely very engaging. I don't know. I thought it was good. I think it might have been a case where they just kind of like planned out this whole thing for The Last of Us 2, and they were like, well, what are we doing for the rest of the conference? And they kind of just like figured it out from going on from there. Yeah, Last of Us 2. Well, The Last of Us was a really like super mega hit game when it came out. Like also tremendously good, tremendously ahead of its time in terms of game design, in terms of like level design and character story when it came out.
I still play that game just for the kicks. Like, it's one of those games that I love to the core. The story, the emotions that you feel during the cutscenes. Like they made a really good job of transmitting emotions through characters and story, even though it was action filled. Like not many games managed that.
I never managed to play it because the one that I had, my PlayStation broke when I was about to play it. But I've seen gameplay of it. Like I saw a walkthrough of the game, and what I saw I liked.
I've never gone through the entire game, but what I have played, I did like a lot.
It's pretty good.
So
it's a very good game.
Well, the trailer is interesting. It's introducing. It had a good balance between introducing new stuff and interesting stuff to the storytelling going on there, but it was also very familiar. Specifically, I think when we got to the actual gameplay stuff, it was very reminiscent of that like hide and sneak gameplay from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I could say besides the different HUD for the items, I think it was mostly identical. Like, it even showed the same items. There were the only new one was like this fire explosive arrow.
Well, there was a couple of other new features.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm probably they just showing that just because they don't want to show more.
Yeah.
But because it looked like it had space for more.
Actually, it's a good sign that they showed that everything they showed is everything that was in the last game.
Yeah, exactly.
There's obviously more.
We're keeping this formula.
Yeah.
We are not going to screw it up.
We're not gonna fuck up the formula, but obviously, like there's room to grow, and we're gonna.
Well,
I think that's what they're saying.
However, something still worries me. Where the fuck is Joel?
Joel is
There's
gonna
been
be.
3 trailers and he hasn't appeared.
Yeah, he did.
I'm getting worried.
He did appear.
He did?
Yeah, there was one.
Not in this trailer. Though.
There was one when she was like playing a guitar.
He doesn't appear there.
Yeah, Joel comes in. Wait. I think she's seeking revenge for Joel, right?
At the end, yeah, I think Joel appears there, but you're not sure if that's really him or it's just.
Do you see his face?
No, you don't. No.
Well, but like coming back to this trailer in particular, there are new and different things. Like just since you brought up Joe already, like the first game you had kind of this not co-op, but it was kind of a trend, I guess, at that moment where you had like your main character and you had like a helper character. So that's gone. It's just you're just playing as Ellie now, kind of surviving out.
Or at least that's what we can tell from this.
At least for what they showed.
Yeah.
And
you started the same way in the first one.
I guess, yeah. But and then there's like some new thematic stuff, some implications about lesbian relationships, but a double entendre. But no, I think more than just girl on girl kissing going on. I think there was definitely a double entendre there about what the story is probably going to be about, because the girlfriend character or whatever kept making allusions to how Ellie is special or different. And like people should pay attention to her, and she kept answering back, "No, I'm just a normal girl," which of course goes back to kind of important plot points from the first game. So, like for me, seeing that, I think my guess was they're gonna. While the first game was kind of like this father-daughter protecting someone who's important and taking them through a dangerous world, I think this game is gonna focus more on kind of like an X-Men story is the vibe I got, trying to like fit in a society where you might not necessarily be like able to fit in because you're different in a special way. I don't know, that's what I figured from that opening sequence is and like the dialogue they chose to like put up front right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I don't think it's gonna go that way because of how like we have the disconnect between like the part of the dance and the part of like the.
Oh yeah, that was very jarring.
Yeah.
I
It was
totally
very-
agree.
So we need to know if
Which one's the flashback?
which one's a flashback or which one happens first and which one happens later.
Yeah.
To be able to like determine that.
Well, I mean, but it
Why they chose those specific scenes in that specific order is kind of, I think, what the question is. Why they meshed them in that order?
well, I mean,
First the dance, then the killing, then the dance again.
I mean, like strictly from a trailer side of things, it's like you get the full plate of the game. It's like here's the story, here's how the gameplay looks, and here's a tease for what might come next.
Right.
Yeah,
But like story wise, I guess it is kind of like, well, what's going on?
What's first,
but
what's
because-
second, what's
because
happening.
if what happens during the dance is like a flashback and like her girlfriend is like someone important and she loses that, then the rest of the game might be like, okay, her motivation may be revenge for that,
Yeah,
or
like-
going to rescue
or that.
rescuing this one girl.
I think she's gonna die, just like her last girlfriend died.
Yeah, that's different. That's like
Left Behind, there was a DLC, a prequel DLC in which her best friend and her, they both get bit, and she makes it,
survives
and
and the other
doesn't.
one doesn't.
Right. Okay.
I'm so sorry for anyone who did not play that DLC.
They should have. It came out like 5 or 7 years ago.
Spoiler alert!
It hasn't been that long since The Last of Us came
I don't
out.
care.
Technically, it's not a spoiler because they tell you
Dude,
in The Last of Us. Like, she tells you this happened.
It's a spoiler for The Last of Us.
If a game's
Spoiler
been out
alert.
for one day, I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it.
It's a spoiler for a
Well,
line.
whatever.
Left of
So okay,
Next
so
game
this
was-
is no. I want to talk about this because this is where
Okay.
this is like so far so good with the press conference, and then they finish The Last of Us. It's like, okay, this game is coming out.
Cool.
Hold up a sec, we're gonna change the stage. So here's the Twitch chat.
Yeah, they
And
get
they started-
behind the desk.
and
they're
they started-
talking like a news station.
But not only the news station thing is
I
like
thought
we got
we were watching in the IGN or the GameSpot.
More at
or
6.
the-
we got commercials for like Black Ops 3 and 4 DLC map packs. Like with including like the announcer voice at the end, like Black Ops map packs by now.
They have Summit. They have Summit again.
I have a question.
I mean, I don't know what that means.
Did
I thought I saw
Summit.
you being very excited about that logo coming
Summit.
back, but
Like, there's a bunch of maps that are
Question.
like.
Okay, wait.
What?
Did the Black Ops ad say? Am I wrong? Did I read wrong? That it was giving maps for pre-order?
Yes.
yes, it
On
was.
the 4. On Black Ops 4.
It's like you pre-order Black Ops 4
So
and
no,
you get
if
maps
you don't pre-order,
for
you
Black
don't-
Ops 3.
No,
don't get
wait.
those
Was
maps?
it pre-order?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to. Okay. The maps
No.
are on Black Ops 4.
But
And if you pre-order Black Ops 4, you get access to the maps on Black Ops 3.
Which is irrelevant because nobody plays Black Ops 3.
Because nobody
anymore.
plays Black Ops 3 anymore. The game has been dead for years.
Everyone
What?
plays. Everyone always plays the
Okay.
new one and forgets about the last one, so it's irrelevant.
But again, this was like super weird how they showed
How they
this.
showed it.
Okay,
It's-
wait.
I think
wanna-
it's the actual TV commercial.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
It-
like plugged in the
It
Twitch
is weird,
stream.
but I didn't know that, and I think it's cool for those who have played Call of Duty. I think Summit and Fire Range are like two of the. Well, I don't know the rest, but I love those maps when I was playing Call of Duty because they're not enormous, but they're like just sizable enough to like be satisfied or like have good conflicts with everyone on the map.
Okay.
Because their maps are way too big
It's a
to like,
blood culture,
to like find anyone, or maps are way too small, like Nuketown. That it's just like it's more of like best for one-on-one.
And those were originally on Black Ops 2.
No, Nuketown I think was in one of the
Modern Warfare games?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. The Black Ops 1 are the Summit and Fire Range. I think that those are from the number 2. Black Ops 2 or 1, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the Bullet trailer looked really cool. It was just it was very jarring.
Yeah, it was out of place.
That it's not your usual E3 trailer.
It was 100% out of place.
Yeah.
I think it's
And
the
then
actual TV commercial.
And then the announcer
It's
voice
like,
at the end is like,
thrown into the-
did I just
yeah.
stumble into some Twitch stream with the Sony crew right there? I think the other weird thing that happened in that in-between segment before we got back to the main stage was they announced some kind of New Game Plus for God of War. But no trailer,
Yes!
no trailer, no visual, no image,
nothing.
no
It was just
logo,
like,
just some
some
throwaway
dude-
line.
Some
Wow.
dude kind of offhandedly mentioned it, like, "Oh yeah, God of War, no,
God of War.
Kind of
was,
makes you
we're
wonder,
done.
like, did he get fired afterwards? Was he supposed to say it?
Like, I
Was he supposed to not say anything?
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, because it really did feel like they were just, like, buying time while they prepared everything back at the normal stage. So this it's just this, like, weird throwaway line, like, hey, God of War came out. Everybody liked that game, right?
I'm pretty sure
and
what-
we're having New Game Plus. And also, now let's change the subject to something else, okay?
I'm pretty sure he was like, okay, and now back to the yeah.
Actually, not back to anything.
More time, okay.
So,
Black
yeah,
Ops!
Well, they-
From the trailer!
Okay, so what they did late after that is that they started announcing everything they've been announcing the last week. Like,
Oh yeah, they went through a recap of
Yeah, they showed the Tetris effect.
the E3 countdown. They had this thing called the E3 countdown where they showed the 5 games, whatever, and they went through a recap. But that doesn't bother me because it was really quick. Okay,
Yeah.
and they said let's go into a recap of the E3 countdown, and then
Yeah.
they showed it. It
Actually-
doesn't really bother me.
in the future, if they had done exactly that, but with the indie game montages that they always do, like they show like 20 indie games and you don't know what's what. If they did the previous week, they would release, hey, this is this is that, this is this, and then on the E3 conference they would
The
like,
recap.
They do the recap montage. Perfect. It would have been.
Or the other way around, they do recap and then they start like releasing.
I would do at least with the indie games.
I think
would do it
I
that.
think you have more time to really give the games a chance.
I guess, yeah.
During the week.
Because there's just so many indie
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
that-
yeah.
Okay,
I would do that specifically with indie games, but not with games like.
Well, but none of
Days
these.
Gone.
I don't know, man. Like I know Days Gone was billed as kind of this AAA game. Was it 2 years ago or last year when they
It's
first
2
showed
years
it?
ago. 2 years.
Is it a zombie game?
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know. Like ever since they
Another
showed that,
zombie game.
ever since they showed that game, like I know there's this whole thing about how the engine can render like a bajillion zombies or whatever.
That's the thing that's selling.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, that tech demo isn't enough to sell me on this game, and the more I see of it, the less interested I am. And I think it's in pretty good company with these other games. Like, let's run quickly through them. They're with like the Tetris effect, which I think looks beautiful, but I mean it's Tetris.
Like you're gonna pay for a game that went into the public domain 50 years ago.
Well, Alexei Pajitnov is still alive, so it's not in the public domain.
It's not?
Sir. No. That game came out 30 years ago, and according to studious people in the games industry, that might be a perfect game, but that's besides the point. Like,
I thought like the Soviet Russia like bought the thing from him, and then like it went.
It's not in the public domain. Like that's why he escaped from Russia, and he licensed the Tetris license.
I had the story
to
wrong.
Everybody.
But like Tetris is in every single hand. You remember those things that we had as kids?
Yes.
That they would sell in the streets. Like
this is how Alexei Pajitnov makes a living. He licenses his perfect game to every single developer in the world, so they can re-release it. There was also Twin Mirrors. I had never heard of this game before. Apparently, some of you guys had seen.
I'd seen the trailer during the countdown. It's basically Catherine, but grittier.
Could you explain that? Because I mean,
it's like I know you
like it's a puzzle game like Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wake up, you don't remember what happened last night, and you think you murdered someone.
And then you go like into your mind and fix shit.
So it's like murder mystery. It sounds like Quantum. You remember that Xbox game Quantum Conundrum that came out like 3 years ago? Yeah, nobody remembers Quantum Conundrum. Just me.
Even the name is like, why?
That was like way back when they announced the PS4 and the Xbox One. And it was one of these like launch titles that was going to be so cinematic and everything. And it was and it was like a puzzle game. But it sounds kind of like that. There was also a Ghost
Giant.
Ghost Giant was one of the.
I'm completely blanking on this game. What was this?
That's the one.
Ghost Giant is one of the 5 that they released last week. That they announced last week. It's a VR game in which you, as a giant, you go into this forest that's filled with little Animal Crossing-like animals.
Oh, and it was that game. Okay, I remember that game.
And they start interact. One of them starts like, I was scared scared, and I thought you were like this horrible thing, but apparently you're nice. I'm gonna befriend you.
And you kill it.
So it's like a cute,
and you step on it.
It's like a cute thing, like you're this spirit human, because it's not a spirit animal, because the animals are the actual humans. It's helping the forest people.
Animal Crossing, but with giants.
I was gonna say it sounds very like Winnie Pooh visit the 100-acre wood kind of situation.
Except with giants.
Have you seen the Christopher Robin trailer?
I've seen the Christopher Robin trailer, but let's not get into that one. But you know what I mean, right? It's that kind of situation where you're just like this huge ass human and you're interacting with little critters.
Can we please not go there?
Well, the other game they had was Beat Saber for PlayStation VR. Beat Saber has been kind of doing the rounds.
I didn't know this existed until like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Dude, you didn't know this existed until like a week ago.
Like I just saw this person playing it in YouTube. Like he had this Darth Maul mod in which he was just smacking everything with the
Darth Maul double bladed lightsaber thing. It looks fucking amazing.
This game...
And it's some Armada shit.
Exactly. This game makes me 100% sure that the government is trying to train us into soldiers through video games.
Overwrite does not endorse conspiracy theories. But
Flamelight does.
Yes!
It looks like a ton of fun. The first time I saw
it's a lot of fun.
This is gonna sound really weird. The first time I saw Beat Saber was on a Facebook commercial.
Yes, no, actually I saw it on Facebook as well.
And I was like, that looks pretty neat. And I did not realize this was not like an arcade game, because I'm used to these kinds of experiences being like full on arcade. You go like to the arcade, you get in a booth They give you your things and you play. I did not realize this was like a VR thing you can have in your home now.
Yo, whenever you go to the arcade, you gotta invite me because I ain't gone to the arcade in a long ass time.
When I saw it, I researched it and I'm like, oh no, it's for PC VR. I don't have PC VR. Like,
oh
Now
no,
they've
PC!
announced- Damn you, PC!
And then they just announced it for PSVR. Like, yes, I'm gonna get trained.
Yeah, no, those were all very wonderful. And then we got something I think Sai and Flamelight were very excited to see. So we moved on to
No.
like we
No.
let me build it up for the audience. So I think they announced, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, there was gonna be like some huge announcement about Destiny 2.
Okay, there was Bungie before every releasing any info about an expansion or DLC, they make a Twitch event in which they show the game, and they showed it, but they said like, we're gonna keep any details about the story, the important details about the story, we're gonna keep them for next week in E3. Like, okay, good, we're gonna get a trailer in E3.
And we really thought it was gonna be like a little, number one, a little more than that.
Yeah.
Like content wise, and number two, holy fuck!
I don't know, man. You guys are losing your fucking shit. Like, I don't play Destiny. Let me make this clear, so that I had no idea what was going on. These guys were screaming.
Yeah, man, that's really stupid. I would never scream for a game.
What are you talking about, you filthy hypocrite?
Give us 10 minutes and we'll get to that. But I don't know, man. What was the DLC called? The Forsaken?
Forsaken
DLC for
so this
Destiny.
is the thing. There is this character that disappeared from the game. We haven't seen him in like 2 years.
It's okay.
He's back and he just killed our favorite character. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
And this is like everybody's favorite character.
Yes.
in this
Yes,
game? Like
yes.
it's a general consensus.
Yes.
It's
The favorite character,
This
and they
is-
killed him off.
This is like comic book events going on here.
Yes.
It's like, oh my god, did that guy just die?
I'm
We need to get the Dragon Balls again?
because he is the favorite character of so many people. I'm pretty sure that she's gonna bring him back.
Come on. Is it an Uncle Ben death?
I mean, they can't know yet. They haven't played the DLC.
It's
Yeah, when I play it, I'll tell you. I have no idea, but
it's okay.
it's like when they killed Dick Grayson in Batman. Spoiler alert, by the way.
He comes back.
Yes,
That's the thing.
but when they did, it was huge because he's everyone's
He's not
favorite
only
character.
a very important character, he's also the comedic relief. So it's like he's serious and funny at the same time, and he's like the heart of the story when he's there.
So he's like Dick
Oh.
Grayson.
I don't know. This is news to me that there's funny parts in Destiny. I always thought it was a grimdark game.
No, it's pretty funny actually.
Yeah, well, after
Especially if you go into PvP, but let's not go there.
Yeah,
I told the joke.
I don't know. I think that's funny in spite of the design of the game, not because of it. So right after that, we got a pretty long. Well, we got a flute concerto first of all.
Yeah.
Which everybody was confused about because they did the banjo thing with Last of Us. I think we were all sitting there going like, so which game is this flute thing we're supposed to all figure out it's from? And none of us could figure this out at all. And then they go like into this like prolonged gameplay showcase.
When you say
During-
prolong, you emphasize the long. Right?
Yes, well,
Yeah,
I mean, it was
it's a
pretty long, and
prolonged-
It felt like one of those songs that you play in the background when you're trying to go to sleep.
yeah, but
Wait,
I don't know.
what?
Like, I thought it looked pretty neat, but I think the confusing thing for me, which was not as confusing as something else that happened later, was that they show the samurai, right? And then it goes like the Mongol invasion. It's like, okay, what is this? And then he kind of Metal Gears around, and then he starts killing people, but then he meets like some lady with a bow, and then they go and do some Assassin's Creed shit inside of a castle, and then it turns into Metal Gear Solid 3 because now he needs to kill the archer lady, and then it's like, and goes to Tsushima. It's like, okay, I remember that trailer from last year. What is this?
It's samurais. That's what it is.
It's kind of. I think it. It looks very meshy.
It has something similar to Assassin's Creed. The recent Assassin's Creed is that they are just playing on the on the history. They don't care about characters anymore. They're just showing the past, showing this moment in time. They're doing this in many recent games, this E3, with samurais, with Vikings, with different things.
I will say the art direction and the tech, at least assuming the tech
yeah.
is representative
That
of the final
flower
game,
field-
like the tech was really good. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
was
looked-
very impressed
Yes.
visually with the game, and
The game looked very, very beautiful.
like I would be down for some Metal Gear Samurai Assassin's Creed in the middle of Mongolia. Whatever that was. It's the game trailer they showed like one image from last year. Now we have like a full-on gameplay thing, but I still have no idea what this game is. I don't know.
What was after? I don't.
It was another weird. It was the one with the lady with the transforming gun and the psych powers.
What was the name of it?
Control.
Control. Like I thought it.
I didn't get any of like,
Chaos.
what was going on. It
Control!
Was, yeah.
Is
Thank
it
you, Shadow.
semi-
Yes.
Yeah, that was basically it. Chaos Control, because she's got a controller and it was very chaotic.
Gotcha, faker.
I don't know. This is like a running theme for this conference. It's a bunch of like weird shit.
I think they were trying to say we got new IPs.
But like, they're interesting though. But like, okay, so if Ghost of Tsushima was like 4 different games I could think of rolled up into one, I was reminded watching Control of like Dead Space and Prey. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Wait.
I thought
Which was
about Prey.
Which was Prey?
Prey is about some mimics inside a station.
Oh, I know.
It's a
yeah,
space station
yeah.
game where you can control like physics stuff.
I
Yeah.
remember it. They have like a gun that shoots like a goo.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that
That's so. I was reminded a bit of Prey.
I ain't got nothing. I have no idea what y'all talking about.
Get out of the room.
It also we
Go away.
were talking about this during the conference. It also reminded us a bit of. Please don't leave. It also reminded us a bit. We were talking about this, The Evil Within. A lot of like the visual like stuff going on in the background with the changing
Surreal.
backgrounds and the surreality. It was very again like both Control and Ghost of Tsushima were like a bajillion games I could think of rolled into one, and at the same time I came out of them going
Well,
like I don't know what I just
What
watched.
I'm really, really, really glad is that the Nets game was not confusing at all.
Oh no, it was wonderful.
Which one? The next one?
I don't know.
Do
It's
I know
it's
it?
something. It's something about a rat.
Ratatouille! Ratatouille HD!
Yeah, the Ratatouille
Oh,
VR.
yeah.
Ratatouille VR. That was
For those of you who haven't figured it out, this is the game he screamed for.
So
That douchebag.
I will say this is another unnecessarily prolonged trailer. So they were showing us this strange VR game with like ramen cup noodles and like Uncle Ben's soup cans everywhere.
For a second there, I thought it was like something for Ant-Man.
Yeah, or something along those veins. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
Too
remember
big.
this.
It was too dark.
There was this game on the Wii like 12 years ago where you play like a scorpion and a spider. I was reminded of that, and I was
Oh, yes!
Yeah, you remember,
yes,
right?
Yes.
and I was like,
I
well,
still got nothing.
maybe it's one of those weird games that we never saw.
You know how I
again.
know it? Because I have my Nintendo magazines like right there.
That's the game,
my
And I just saw one picture of that game once, and I like.
and it's like it came back. Well, but that's like so. The trailer was very like from a very small perspective, and it was very first person. So like I think most of us were thinking it was some kind of like small critter game, and then we died in the trailer.
Yeah, we died real quick.
And
Like-
suddenly, it's like this is like the best. I mean, like at least for me, this is like the best.
No more.
This is like the best twist for a trailer. Like all of a sudden, we find out the 2 humans that were fighting around the rat. It's like one of them's like Leon S. Kennedy because this is the Resident Evil 2 remake, and it's finally coming out. We're finally like this was announced I think 2 years ago. With no images, nothing. It was just like some guy showed up from Capcom. And he was like, "Yeah,
I had completely.
We're
forgotten
making
about
Resident
it.
Evil 2, by the
we're
way.
remaking Resident Evil 2, the game you've all been waiting for that has not been back since the PlayStation
No.
era." And everybody was like, "Oh no, nice! That when can we see it?" And they were like, "Well, stay tuned." And 2 years passed, and we didn't see shit.
Now the question is, the little first-person thing that they teased at the beginning, did that mean something? Is it? Can it be VR like the Resident Evil?
I'm feeling.
7 was it?
I don't think it's gonna be VR.
I think it'll incorporate it, to be honest.
I love that. I love the VR in the last Resident Evil game.
I mean,
I
it's
hated it.
It's hard because Resident
you
Evil...
get dizzy about anything.
No, because
VR.
I was scared out of my wits.
I mean, it's a very important question, I think, because Resident Evil 2, much
was
like
having
Resident
fun.
Evil 1, is a very old school game in Resident Evil. Resident Evil has changed a lot over the years. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach remaking this game.
They didn't show any gameplay.
Especially, well, as far as we know, because that's kind of the thing, right? Like, maybe Flamelight's right, and the rap thing is kind of alluding to something. Maybe it's another game mode, or maybe it's suggesting that you might be able to play the game in many different ways.
Okay.
Like, it's hard, like, what I'm messing around in my head is, like, I want the original classic Resident Evil 2, but I understand a lot of people have probably come into Resident Evil for Resident Evil 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure for Capcom, it's a question of how do we not alienate all these new people that have come into the franchise, while at the same time bringing back this beloved game that has not had a remake at all.
Hey, as long as they take away the tanky movement, I'm okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did have another shot of Leon approaching the police station, which to me was very reminiscent of that Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5 kind of gameplay. So again, like, what comes to mind to me, considering everything we've said so far, is they might be considering, and this might not work out, but they might be considering finding some way of appeasing, like, all fans. Yeah, and having, like, the possibility of playing the game in multiple ways. Kind of what Kojima tried to do with Metal Gear Solid 4. Like, I don't know if much people remember this, but you can play MGS4 in first person the whole game.
Yeah. I don't know. The important thing about this game is you can play as Best Girl.
As Best Girl?
Yeah.
As Claire Redfield?
Yep.
Who is not wearing her biker jacket, not wearing her short shorts.
It's gonna be unlockable.
Probably.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be
that's
unlockable.
probably true.
I know. I'm just so happy to see this game back. Like, Resident Evil 2 is just
Maybe the next one we'll see is Resident Evil Nemesis remake.
yeah.
Well,
Or
yeah, that's gonna be a big event.
For those of you who didn't realize, Ghoul was also screaming.
yes. No. I love Resident Evil, man. This is a formative game, and Best Girl is in it. Ada Wong,
What was after
What?
that?
Who's Ada Wong?
the Best Girl.
Who's what?
Anyway, moving on.
That's not how you pronounce Claire.
That's not how you pronounce Claire.
We can have this conversation outside of the podcast.
No.
Right now.
There was something before the Kingdom Hearts 3
There's no conversation to be had.
trailer.
So
But I can honestly, I don't quite remember what it was.
It was Trober Saves the Universe. It was from
Oh,
Rick and
yeah,
Morty.
the Rick and Morty thing.
The Rick and
Yeah.
Morty thing, yeah.
Yeah, that looked.
Gee, Rick, I don't know what this game is, Rick.
I honestly forgot they showed
Shut up,
the
Morty.
trailer for that at this conference. It was the most normal trailer in the whole conference.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
It was
Also, I don't know about you guys, but it kind of felt like a throwaway. It was like, yeah, okay.
It's because
this is
Rick and Morty's
this.
popular.
They throwed it. They throw it in, and
it's because Rick and Morty is popular that they have it in there, but at the same time, it's precisely because it's from the Rick and Morty
I'm just
guy.
gonna say,
Yes,
I'm
but-
hoping that they do
It's
not
true.
delay the next season of Rick and Morty to this game.
Nah, it's,
What I was gonna
like,
say is
they
because
threw
it's
it
be-
in and just went on.
I don't know
with
because
it.
Rick and Morty is one of these, like, I don't want to say like self-aware shows, but it's a very meta show in a sense. Like, I'm guessing the reason the game looked kind of throwaway, like Sai was saying, is kind of precisely the point.
forget throwaway.
We
No,
know
not
we're
the game, not the
ridiculous,
game,
we
not the
know-
game, not the game.
Like,
I meant
oh, you mean like the
trailer.
way it was presented?
The way it was presented, the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
So
was-
it's kind of
it
like,
was-
yeah, okay, here's this. Let's
It's
move
made
on.
for the Rick and Morty audiences.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean,
It's
the
not
guy,
made for new audiences.
the guy at the end, the blue guy at the end, is actually fucking Morty.
yeah.
That's his voice.
the
That's
exact
the way
same
he speaks.
voice and
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
it's the
it's-
same voice actor for
And it was, and it
Yeah,
was,
it's
and it was
Justin-
the kind of like same humor from the show as well.
Justin Roiland voices all this shit.
Yeah, but you can have the same voice actor do different voices. This was the voice of Morty
Yeah.
and how he
On
speaks.
on another character. Like it
It
was
was-
Morty as a blue thing.
Yeah. It's
I don't
kinda
know.
jarring.
I will say I think I'm among the table. I'm the one that's least seen Rick and Morty, but I was very interested in this game in spite of the fact that it wasn't given as much attention as some of the other games on the show.
It was funny, though.
It looked funny. It looked fun.
Yeah.
It looked like some classic game, and at the same time, I feel like it has the potential to be kind of one of those South Park situations where the game kind of pokes fun at the medium itself. So that's always enjoyable, and I was interested. I think it looked nice, and I think it looked fun.
I love South Park.
Well, I'm also glad the next game. I'm glad that this Kingdom Hearts trailer was different from the previous two, which were it's almost virtually the same.
Yeah, E3 week is also a Kingdom Hearts 3 week because every single conference seems to have one of these now.
Yeah.
Now we're waiting
Even
for the
Bethesda?
Switch.
I don't know, man. Like I think
it's coming on the Switch.
It's coming on the Switch?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, it's gonna be there tomorrow.
I think it is.
I don't know. I haven't heard that. We might need to.
I think
fact
it
check
is.
that.
I think it is.
It might. I mean, at this point, this is a thing we can talk about more at some other point. Like consoles, the differentiation between consoles is kind of like slowly like dying away, really. So I think we're just gonna keep seeing more and more games like multi-platform.
I do think that even if they come out on different consoles, they still should have something unique for each.
Yeah, definitely.
You mean like Soul Calibur 2?
Yeah.
2!
So maybe
Back in 1476.
maybe there's a Mario World in this one, and the Switch one. If there's a Switch one, I don't know.
I mean, well, Kingdom Hearts has been in Nintendo consoles before. I'm gonna be completely honest here. Like, I'm not the Kingdom Hearts guy at the table, so I think it looks nice.
It's okay. I'm also not the Kingdom Hearts guy.
For our Microsoft conference episode. Like, I get why people are excited for this thing.
Look,
I don't have no idea what's exciting about it.
Kingdom Hearts 3 has been all the trailers have been like teasing just so tiny bits of the story that it's not enough to even know what's gonna happen. Like, it's just like, hey, this character is back. That's it.
Well, I mean, from what I could gather, and I know very little.
But they are teasing more the worlds, the different worlds that we're gonna visit, like Toy Story, Monsters Inc.
Well, yeah,
that's what they're teasing. But the rest, they have been so tightly shut that we don't know what it's gonna contain.
I mean, again, I'm no expert, but this trailer came off to me as very story heavy because we got to see a lot of like what are the Black Robes guys called?
Yeah, but we know all of them. And they didn't say anything.
Well, but one of them's from like the last numbered game, and I think he was one of the villains, and now he's like hanging out with one of the characters.
Spoiler alert for everyone in the Kingdom Hearts that likes the Kingdom Hearts series. All of those guys are the same guy possessed by one guy. So.
Oh man, I'm spoiled.
Now I'm less gonna get into this hyper complicated series.
Everyone that has yellow eyes is possessed by the same guy.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
No,
We've already fucked the game for everyone.
Wait. We still need to like talk about like the possibilities of what Disney World is going to be in there.
I mean, we kind of went over. Well, at least I posited my stuff for our like podcast last time for Microsoft that I thought they were veering towards more of the 3D animated movies. But I don't know if we got to see the Pirates of the Caribbean
And Hercules.
Yeah.
And Toy Story and Monsters Inc.
Yeah, but
I wish we'd get Moana, but I
I think
it would
it's
be
not
too
gonna
much.
happen because we already have Pirates.
I think it was too. Moana is too recent.
Too recent. I know it's not gonna happen just because we already got Pirates, and it's like two worlds of basically the same thing.
The newest movie, the most recent movie that appears in this, like as a world, is Big Hero 6. But as a character, we have Wreck-It Ralph, which appears. Wreck-It Ralph
as a summon,
yeah. So I think anything past Wreck-It Ralph probably was too recent to be in development.
Okay.
Well, but there's still a lot of stuff to gather.
Before
like,
or after Wreck-It Ralph?
Woo, was way before.
Way before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frozen was like 96, man.
way before. No, I was
47.
47. But there's still like a lot of like, for me at least, like, there's still a lot of 3D animated movies you can pick from. Like there's the Incredibles universe, which is getting movie soon, so it would be appropriate to like put it in the game. I think.
I can assure you that they haven't shown everything.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they haven't shown everything yet. But
dude, imagine Sora with an Incredibles uniform.
That would be awesome. I'm still not gonna play Kingdom Hearts, but that would be awesome.
What's the stake, man? What's the stake?
figuring out what the fuck is going on in these games.
Who cares?
Like I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
Sit down for like 3 days with Flamelight, and he'll explain like
Everything.
He'll explain like half of the game because he won't have time for more.
I will gladly watch anybody else play this game. I love the aesthetic of Kingdom Hearts. I love the music. I think Utada Hikaru always does a great job, but I just can't.
I don't like the game. I don't like the game mechanics, the controls. I hate.
You
the controls.
You hate the camera and all the controls.
I hate the controls. I like the story. I think the story is very fun.
I mean a reference.
Yeah, but nobody understood because you had your fucking cock in your mouth.
So yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe we'll get to see more of Kingdom Hearts elsewhere.
Perhaps, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we already said it.
No, like in another game.
On the show floor?
No, maybe he could be like the.
Well,
the
he has been in the 3DS already, so he could.
It's perfectly plausible, and I mean he's
Source
already on
Smash.
Xbox, so
he could
everything.
be in Smash, is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe, I don't know.
There have been like serious Smash mods.
Wait.
Yes.
If he's in Smash, would every single one of his alternate costumes be like one of his outfits in the world?
That'd be
We can
amazing.
ask
But
Masahiro Sakurai tomorrow. Today,
Sakurai.
today we get to talk about Masahiro Sakurai's best friend and Captain Weird, who has his big game coming out for the PlayStation with Dead Stranding.
I really
Silent
feel
Hills.
bad talking about this game, and I don't mean bad like sad or anything
Like you miss Silent Hills?
I
Silent
feel
Hill?
awkward talking about this game that looks amazing, but it feels. I can't describe it.
What other game do you use a fetus to light a light bulb?
The Matrix.
That's
Not a game, but yes.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a simulation. Real life simulation.
Then you realize that the actual
30,
people was
44.
aware of its surroundings.
Yes. He was
It's fucked up.
No, he was like he knew what was going on. It was like he
nice.
He woke him up and was like, "Hey, yo, go to work."
Go to work, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty clear at this point that Kojima's definitely trying to gross out people. Like the trailer ends with Lia Seydoux like biting into whatchamacallit, like some kind of
It's a
maggot.
larva.
Yeah,
This is
larva.
when I say, Konami, I don't like you at all.
That's not Konami.
No, I know. It's
because they threw out Kojima,
because
so now he's doing whatever the hell
I
he
wanted
wants.
Silent Hill, and now he's making this.
I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I don't think any other developer in the games industry could literally go to a studio and go like, "Hey, so I have a bunch of friends in Hollywood, and I want to make this game, and I need you to give me like all your money, and I promise people will get into it."
Oh, fine. By the way, there's fetuses that work with light bulbs.
Honestly, think about it. This game is like Kojima. What's the Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Lia Seydoux now,
That's
and Guillermo.
Daryl. That's Daryl from The Walking Dead.
And Guillermo del Toro are all in this game, and
That sounds like the intro of a joke. Guillermo del Toro, Kojima, and Daryl.
Daryl
walk into a bar.
And
And a baby.
It does sound like some kind of weird joke, but it's a real game.
Guillermo del Toro, Kojima, and Daryl walk into a bar carrying a fetus, and something happens, and that's the joke.
And we're all
And
gonna
the
buy
game.
it, I guess,
And
because it's like it's like it's like that old joke where it's like question mark money. Like, this is literally what's gonna happen with this game. Like, nobody knows what's going on, but bajillion people are gonna buy it anyway.
It's profit, you ignorant fuck.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the internet.
Yeah, I just do video games.
Anyway,
yeah. I mean, I don't know what to make of Dead Stranding.
I mean,
It's like sci-fi, I guess.
Okay, wait.
it's a weird fucking game. I know exactly what to make of it.
I think it's really important to talk about what they showed in the gameplay, because when they show him walking and they show him like doing all this stuff in the world, I think the name comes into play, which is called Dead Stranded. I think what the game is going to be like you stranded in this world that you don't know anything about, and you need to find your way to like gather things and survive and whatever.
Yeah, like it did have those kind of like survival game
Yeah,
vibes.
but the interesting that I found.
But you're not gonna be alone.
I mean, no, but
I had
you're
this.
stranded.
You have your baby fetus companion.
Besides
Your Pokemon?
that, they showed this.
Well, they showed another guy too.
They showed another guy and like he was talking with people on the radio
On the comms.
and there was this female character, but I actually think
but
she was a hallucination.
I think so too.
Yeah, but that was
I'm
more.
pretty sure she was.
that
Because
was-
she came out of nowhere.
Also, that was more of like a story portion of the game. I'm trying to like.
You mean like stuff like the boxes falling off
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
river?
I
And,
think-
and yeah,
I think that's gonna come to play in the way of like you're gonna gather things throughout the game, and those things can like you can like. Sorry, you're gonna lose them, or like they can fall, like during your adventure, things like that, and you have to find a way to like
Meanwhile,
keep them.
they're like soul-sucking things trying to kill you.
yeah.
Yeah.
My theory is this is some kind of like spirit agriculture game, and Kojima's trolling all of
This
us.
is Kojima Natsu.
This is like Harvest Moon, but like with spirits or something.
I just thought that it's kind of similar to the story in this amazing, great movie called Final Fantasy Spirit Within.
Oh God, no! Let's.
My
Wait,
God.
Anyway, right after that.
Wait, did you say great movie?
Yes.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
I think he was being sarcastic.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
I fucking
I
hope
thought
he
you were
was being.
serious.
He doesn't have the best grasp on sarcasm.
So I've got down here on the notes that after that we saw a trailer for Neo 2. I remember seeing the splash screen. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't remember anything else from this trailer.
Actually, I don't either.
I don't.
Me either.
know.
Like I am drawing a
Did-
complete
Wait.
blank.
Did this
Like,
trailer actually happen?
Wait, did we get deneuralized or something?
I don't know, maybe that's the Death Stranding effect. I don't know.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Like I clearly remember in my head the Neo 2 logo. Neo
Yes.
came out, I guess, early January 2017. It was this kind of like Dark Souls, but more arcade.
No, I just
arcadey.
remember the horns.
But I don't remember seeing any gameplay for this trailer.
No, the horns, like, they're on the logo. That's why I remember the
Oh.
horns.
Yeah, man, I don't know what happened, man. This trailer literally did not register at all with me.
I'm just gonna put an image of whatever was on the trailer, and that's just what people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you get.
I'm
That's all
sorry.
you get.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just this Sony press conference is.
It was
Like,
surreal.
if anything is an evidence that this experiment that they tried to do did not work, is the fact that there's a whole game that they announced that we just missed, apparently, because it did not register at all.
Hey, and that's if there aren't any more games that just are not on the notes.
That we literally did not notice.
did not notice at all.
No,
I don't know.
wrote it.
Maybe it's all part of the Death Stranding thing, man.
I think that they were actually trying to make some kind of statement with what they closed with.
What, the Spider-Man, you mean?
Yeah. It's kind of usually conferences end with a really high note.
And something that people don't know.
It's interesting that they chose Spider-Man as a closing game because Spider-Man, yeah, it has had a ton of games, but they've never been AAA games. They've never been like the game of.
I think that's unfair.
Wait, did they show anything that was like super hype of Spider-Man? Because I was pooping at the time.
I mean, they basically showed
And that
this-
needed to be on the podcast.
Yes.
they
Thank
basi-
you for the
They basically
details.
showed what I'm guessing is the beginning of the game, and all the main villains getting free from the raft,
Yeah.
which is this kind of like prison play. Think Arkham Asylum, but for Spider-Man.
But I think that they're gonna push this Spider-Man
Bell
game
Wave, but for
to
Spider-Man.
break
Yeah.
limits. They want this game to break the limits that have been put before on superhero games.
I mean, I don't know. Like, this is an Insomniac game, so
Super
this is like a very tried,
Yeah,
very
fourth.
good studio behind this game, and like they've been pimping this Spider-Man game for the past 2 E3s now. Like,
Yeah.
this
This
Spider-Man
game, this is the one Spider-Man game that's shaping up to be a AAA game.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just I don't know what to make of it. Like, it looks fun. It looks really fun.
Gameplay-wise, it looks like really.
Yeah, I mean, all those people that really remember, I guess, Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2, like it
I wish I
looks
didn't.
like It looks like natural evolution of those like basic web mechanics that a lot of people fell in love with Void back then. And I don't know, it looks fun. It's just I guess what you mean is
that's what I mean. Like the PlayStation 2 game is the exact example. Like those web mechanics were great, but that was it. The rest of the game was lackluster.
well, that's why I said this is like building up on that because you have like very good acrobatic and like in-world movement. You have very good fighting going on in this game.
Paced.
You have really good dialogue,
like
from what I can tell.
Yeah, no, and
Like they really got in the essence of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just hope that this is the one that breaks that limit that has been put on superhero games. They're just like movie games. They are always this low quality game. Maybe this one will break it, and I think Sony's betting on it.
I mean, I think Batman broke through that though with Arkham Asylum.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
the Arkham series,
fine.
yeah.
But
that's
I think it would be nice to see like
I was thinking
a
more
character
of like,
other than Batman be able to have.
I was thinking more of like the Superman games, the Hulk games.
Well, I mean, Superman 64 is not a good comparison for
the
anything.
actual superheroes.
You dissing Superman 64?
I'm totally dissing
On my
Superman
face?
64. Yes.
Good.
Because it's
Good.
not bad.
That did not go where I expected it to go.
I don't know, man. I think my only complaint with the Spider-Man game, because it does look really good, is they had basically all of the Sinister Six except Dr. Octopus. They changed him for, like, I'm guessing the main villain of the game.
No, there was a villain we didn't see. Like at the end, he says like, "Oh, you."
Oh,
like,
so you think it's a villain? Then?
Yeah.
Because I thought it might be.
Help me with this. Who was there? There was the Scorpio, the Rhino.
There was a Scorpion, the Rhino, the Vulture,
the Vulture, and the Ghost guy.
No. There's somebody else we're missing. Wait. Vulture, Scorpion,
In order.
Rhino.
First was Electro, then we saw Rhino. After that, we saw Vulture,
No, Scorpion.
Scorpion, and then Vulture,
Then Vulture.
and then
Then the white guy.
the yeah, and there was a sixth
There's-
one that didn't show on camera.
Yeah, but we're missing.
There was
And-
another. There
wait,
was another character
and
that didn't show up on camera. We
That
don't know that there was a-
character, I don't know his name. The one with the dark powers. He says like he wants him alive. Like he's talking about a boss.
Right.
There's
oh, well,
someone
yeah.
else.
So yeah. Okay, I remembered in my head.
It's
So
probably
the
Kingpin.
the missing. Well, maybe, but the missing Sinister. If it's gonna be Sinister Six, it would have to be Vulture. Not Vulture. Sorry, Green Goblin, and Mysterio. That would be missing. Assuming it's actually gonna be Sinister Six.
Doc Ock.
And Doc Ock. Yes. No, but then somebody.
There are different.
Maybe there's different team ups, and
There's
then I'm mixing
there are
them up in my
different
head.
team ups of Sinister Six.
There are different team ups of Sinister Six. Venom is sometimes in the Sinister Six. They're usually the animal bad guys.
It's
Yes.
still the Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery.
Yeah, no. I just want to say before we run out of time. I don't know. Like you thought. You thought it was a villain. I thought, given we're getting the Spider-Man animated movie, it was going to be maybe another one of the Spider-Mans showing up. Like maybe Miles Morales or maybe Gwen Stacy from that other universe. Which might be cool as well.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen would be super
if
cool.
they announce Spider-Gwen in
Spider-Gwen would be
in
super
the
cool
game,
because...
like,
Spider-Gwen
I
DLC.
don't care how they announce it, but if they announce it, it's like, okay, I was already gonna buy this game. Like now, like I'm pre-ordering.
Don't pre-order.
Don't pre-order.
Why?
Because
pre-order
pants
sucks.
are not worth it.
Yeah.
Pants?
As an Assassin's Creed thing. Do you remember?
I don't
I don't
remember.
do it
I don't
for
remember
the
the pants DLC.
There was a pants DLC
I don't
for
do it
Assassin's
for
Creed.
the pants. I pre-order it because I know I want the game no matter what, and I want a copy of it.
Have you ever been disappointed with a pre-order?
Probably, but I would have still bought it because it's part of the series and I want to play it.
Like I think his point,
Anyway.
yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
I
What did you
think it'd be really cool if it was Spider-Gwen, just because, as far as I know, and I'm not the biggest Spider-Man buff, Spider-Gwen has been pretty neglected on everything outside that one comic series where she's
Well,
she is pretty new though.
Yeah,
so.
I
She's
think
pretty
it's,
new, but
I
yeah.
think it's,
Still.
since I don't know, comics are a little bit of a haze, like what's what I'm looking for, like
Maybe we're
a
gonna
battlefield
get
right
Gwen
now. Like, you know, like
I didn't hear what you
like the
said,
world of
sorry.
comic books are like it's kind of like
like-
a harsh place to be in right now. So
Yeah.
But I mean, more than that, it's comic books tend to be very experimental.
Deadpool cameo would be good.
Yeah, so
No, I mean that the world.
Deadpool cameo would be amazing. Deadpool could also be Deadpool.
it could also be Deadpool. Yes.
Oh, you fuck!
I mean, like Deadpool has been
Paired
in
up with
previous
Spider-Man,
yes.
like very recently too.
Well, I don't know.
In
cartoon.
the new Marvel cartoon.
I guess. Well,
No, it's
I mean,
it's like a ongoing joke that everyone thinks Deadpool is Spider-Man.
Yes,
Like
no,
a comic.
it's they definitely play off of
No, and I think it's like actually official that Spider-Man is Deadpool's best friend.
that. Deadpool
like-
has friends.
Yeah. Deadpool,
wait.
Deadpool has actually officially said Spider-Man is my
I
best
think
friend.
I think it's self-proclaimed.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no.
probably, it's probably
Spider-Man,
one-sided.
He said Spider. It's 100% one-sided. But
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
said
It's like
Spider-Man
Watson and
is my
Sherlock.
best friend. He
That's
said it.
It's
and
like Watson and
hilarious.
Sherlock,
Yeah.
Wilson and House. It's like,
I'm guessing.
you're my best friend. You're annoying, but you're my best friend.
I mean, if Spider-Man's calling somebody annoying, that's a big problem. Well, yeah, but that was it. Like, they kept showing these little, like, music interludes from...
I thought they were teasing us something.
I thought
And
so
then they
too.
were.
Like, there's this game from the Little Big Planet guys that they've been teasing ever since the PS4 was coming out that's never really come out. But they never showed anything. I don't know. This... Again, like we talked about in the beginning, this was a weird conference. I'm not...
Although we saw the conference from GameSpot and the thing cut off at the end.
Yeah, we saw the GameSpot stream, which might have been...
Maybe we missed something at the end.
I hope not.
I hope not. Yeah.
Yeah, like
don't
we
think
we
so.
missed all of Neo too.
Like it was like a completely new game, like something that would
Like the internet is freaking out about
Yeah,
some game,
right now,
and
and
they're
then we-
screaming at us in the comments
Guys,
like, "Oh my
and
god,
the-
why are
yeah.
you not talking about this
And the
game?"
4 idiots are like,
I
yo,
have a question,
seriously.
guys. I was thinking just before we started the podcast, I didn't mention it then, but have we seen anything from Naughty Dog this year?
Last of Us.
And that's it.
What else do you want from them? I mean, it's a big game.
Yeah, it's a big game, but it's been in development for 3 years. Would expect that they've started something new.
I don't know, man. Making games is expensive.
But they usually make more than one at the time.
If they have the money, I don't know. Final
I
thoughts.
mean, they make fucking Uncharted like it was a fucking Big Mac.
Are you? it made them a lot of money. Do you have any final thoughts on this press conference that you want to share? Did you
Yes.
come out liking it in some
I
way?
want more Spyro, Jack and Daxter, Crash, and the oldies.
You literally just got a remake for every single one of those games.
It said Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, it's just.
And I want more.
I'm watching the ending of the conference. It's just like gameplay of Spider-Man and whatnot.
Well,
And
so
that's it.
that was basically it.
So yeah, that was it. We didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. You guys, any final thoughts before we close the podcast?
I just want to see the Nintendo One already.
Oh my god,
Well-
Smash Tournament tomorrow. I am so excited.
I
for
want to
that
see.
shit.
I want to see.
So excited.
I want to see. I don't know.
Everything.
You will figure it out tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on the Overwrite SideQuest podcast. And we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Get out of my house.